Here's a plan of attack. We've got an old aerial that came through here, which at some point had been hit by something and nearly ripped itself completely through the roof. So you can see the damage there, and obviously it was leaking for a wee while and it's become a wee bit delaminated. I mean, it's virtually it's not that bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I'm going to say it was a permanent repair, but it's a repair that I could take off and utilise those holes again, because the less holes you've got in your van, the better it is for keeping the water out, obviously. So what I want to do is I'm going to cover them up, because at some point there's going to be another solar panel going on the roof. There's one on this side, and I'm going to put one on this side eventually, or if I can I'll try and keep them on the same side and use the holes, but if I can't, then this is a perfect place through the roof to bring, and I'll reroute the cable to the battery. Right, so what I've bought is, just off eBay, a couple of sheets, but what it is a couple of bits of aluminium. This stuff is 3mm thick. The reason I'm using aluminium is because the roof's made of aluminium and I don't want any sort of sacrificial corrosion going on, but I'm going to use a stainless steel bolt obviously. What I plan to do is just use this middle hole here. I've got a temporary repair outside, so that's what's stopping the water coming in. The reason I had to pull this out is because water just started coming through. So what I want to do is I'll take the repair I've got outside and we'll take that off, and then I'm going to seal this down, but I think I'm going to use this tape, this sealing strip, mastic sealing strip, although this is a thick one. This is 32mm wide. You probably only need 16 or something. Half that thickness is ample for most things. I don't know why I got it so wide, but basically I just cut that in half, and what I'll do is I'll put that on the edge, the outside one of the outside one, and just put that onto the roof. And what we'll do, I'll have a bolt in the middle, and that should be able to pull that down with the plate on the inside, and the two of them will sandwich the roof, and that way it should get a good seal and it will strengthen up that piece of roof. So I'm going to use this bolt. This is just a stainless bolt, and as I say, it's going through the centre of the plate. This will be sitting on the outside, and I've decided to just take one of the wee ones on the inside, and the two of them will sit like that with the bolt in the middle, just in the middle, pulling it down so that the edges are sealed, and it's just stopped any water going in. And this stuff, 3mm is a bit excessive probably. You could probably go 2 and still have a real decent fix, but the 3 is really stiff, and it should help with the plan that I've got, which is just having one bolt going through it, through the middle. So that way you can tighten this up quite tight and it won't bend. It's not like a big hole, it's just a small hole, so it should all sandwich together. That's the plan, so we'll see. Okay, got this stuff, Sikaflex. It is brilliant stuff. It is a sealant and adhesive as well. It really works amazingly. I don't think I've ever had a leak from anything I've used it with. Obviously you need to prepare everything properly. The problem I've got with it is it's about £10 a tube, and if you don't use a whole tube it doesn't keep very well at all. So what happens is it goes solid all the way through and then starts to get hard in here. So I'm going to show you a wee quick cheat. You might be able to get a wee bit more out of it. So as you can see, I've taken the lid off it. It's sort of soft and hard as well. It's not good to get that on your hands. And pull out what I can from here. You can see there's bit hard bits and soft bits, and so I'll try and clear it as much as possible. You can see that it's actually solid. Now I know that this is not particularly old, it's just been open for I don't know, maybe a month. I used it for an emergency fix, and of course when you, by the time you line up all the fixes that you want to do with it, it's yeah, solid. Grab your tube, get a drill bit about as wide as a tube. This is 8mm, could probably use 9 or even a 10. Drill. Once it's right in, pull it while it's turning. There you go. There it is. So it's worked. Put this back on. And then there you go. It's a bit harder to pull than normal because the hole's just a wee bit smaller. That will let you use your tube for a good bit longer. Okay, just quickly get the middle. So it's a square, so I'm just going corner to corner. There we go. There's the right way to drill. Same with this one. I think 8mm is bang on. 8mm, a bit tight. I'm going to drill this on a piece of wood. Remember to put on your safety specs. Should give us a reasonably clean hole. Okay, I'm just going to put this on, basically, up to the edges, like that. Here's something I've learned, is don't bend this stuff round the corners, because you just make it thinner. So it does just peel back the corner a wee bit, like that, bring this one up to it. This will be a wee bit long now, so you want it just to sort of touch, to them touch like that, and just take that along. Okay, cut up to size. Don't let it touch. Yeah, I had four pieces cut out, and somehow these touched one another. That's it, completely useless. So next one. So again, peel the corner back a wee bit, just so you can see what's going on, and then put this corner up to it. And you shouldn't have any problems at the corners. You just make sure they're sealed together. So this is one, all the way up to here. Okay, so that's yep. So you can see there how the corners sort of merge into one another. I made that mistake on the hatches. I sort of turned the corner round and it thins it out, and of course the old hatches have an uplift and some water getting, so learned that lesson, so make sure it's equal all the way round and you shouldn't have any problems. Okay, here's my temporary repair with a bit of plastic sheet and a bit of Silkaflex, Sikaflex, is it Silkaflex? Sikaflex. Okay. That stuff is pretty strong. Oh, there it goes. That's coming. Right. Wow. Pretty good that. amazing. Okay, cloth, let's dry most of that up. Okay, you can see the damage here where it nearly went through the roof when it's hit something. So what I'm going to do is use the Sikaflex to basically seal these bits up. So I want to just do these holes, and the middle one is where the bolt's going. That's the plan. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take this off. There we go. Nice shiny piece. But what I want to do is seal that as well. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, it's just to stop the water coming in really. Right, I'm going to take this off now. Good. Now, sort of square. There we go. It's cool. Now the tape's holding that. Looks good. Now I want to seal in there. Put a wee bit of this in. Just a wee fraction. Okay, now wonderful wonder wipes. What we need to do is go inside and tighten this up, and we'll see if it's strong enough. Put the bottom plate on now. You can see the bolt sticking through with the Sikaflex all over it. Okay, the problem I've got is the bolt is just a wee fraction short. Because of the sealant, I can push that up quite a bit, and I should be able to get, should just be able to catch it. This is when you find out you need two people to do this. Put that on it. And if I pull it a wee bit, it's going to square it up a wee bit. There we go. Tighten this up. So, I feel like it's pulling in any way. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we want to go much tighter than that. So when you're tightening this nut, you don't want to over tighten this. Do not over tighten it, because what you'll do is you'll pull the bolt, because there's only one bolt, you'll pull it down and that'll create a wee concave bit where water will gather, and it'll just sit right at the bolt, so the bolt will be the only thing stopping the water coming through. And because, you know, there's a hole straight through, you don't want that happening. Basically the Sikaflex I've put in where the bolt is just in case there's water there. I don't want a permanent pull there, so that's one of the things I'll need to check when it's raining, and make sure that there's not a concave there, so otherwise that'll create problems of its own pretty quickly. So as I say, you just want that sort of tight, but don't be tightening it right down. So it's that's important. Right, I've just forced a wee bit of Sikaflex into that bolt, and then we just clean up. Now I can feel a wee indentation there. If it's a problem and we get water pulling here, then I'll release the tension inside. As you can see, the tape's sealed pretty well all the way around. So I think the secret is not to over tighten it, because you don't want it to start to bend the plates. So it seems to be sitting nice, it's absolutely solid, it's not moving. Again, I've not sealed on the inside, I just want to seal on the outside. If you seal on the outside and the inside, you'll never know if there's a problem in there, and there'll be rot before you even aware of anything going on in there. So if you leave your inside unsealed, then that means if there's water going in, there's a good chance it can come out, so that you can then deal with it before it's spread right through your walls. Looking good.